Good evening. I I always do that weird giggle. I have decided to just knock them all out. I have had a lot of people asking me in comments and direct messages about air fryer, toaster oven, press, what's the best, how do you do each one, and none of them are the best. I mean, you can sublimate in all three of those things. I actually, if you can tell, I live on a really, really old farmhouse, and my lights are flickering because I have a lot going on right now. I'm going to try to knock out all three of these. So I have my toaster oven plugged in on top of my stove, where I usually do my big press. My air fryer is not plugged in yet, but I also have my press plugged in. So I'm not going to get into a lot of specifics because I have those other videos where like I do the whole black tumbler, or the all black full wrap black tumbler. That's a lot to say. And just to show that, the black seam, that you can get that without showing. So I go into real specifics with that, like how to get that seam to not show. I'm just showing you right now basically how I wrap and my temperature type stuff for the press, the air fryer, and the oven. But if you want to get into the more specifics of how to not get those seams to show, I'm sure I know me, I'm going to say things, but my focus isn't on that. You all saw that in my last video. I made this design for myself on a tumbler, and I did it, and I successfully subbed my name onto a tumbler that I already subbed the design onto, to just show that you can go back over an already sublimated tumbler and add a name if you want to. Of course, you gotta be careful of colors. You're not gonna be able to go back and put a white name on here on this design specifically. Well, actually, you can't put a white over any color once you've already done it. I don't know the trick to that one. I think that's not possible. But anyway, yeah. You can do different colors, but you know what I'm saying. It's got to be darker over whatever your name's going to have to be darker over whatever color you're trying to add your name to, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying. I hope. But I'm going to do this one in the press because I've already done a black full wrap in the press. But this, let me get this out of the way. This is what I'm doing. Halloween isn't that awfully far off, and all of everyone, see, blah, 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 blah. I don't talk right. People are already thinking Halloween for the crafters and stuff, so I actually have people in my life who identify as witches, and I'm telling you, not one of them has a black cat. Not one of them. Not one. So I'm going to gift them a black cat. So, and I've decided that in these videos I'm going to keep true to my black. So, to show people that, you can do this without giving yourself carpal tunnel, and do full black and all that. You don't have to pull the crap out of them. But, which means I'm going to do the press first. Let's just do the press first. My press, I'm going to put this design. My press, I just, I have my cup upside down. I have my design. Yeah. I know you guys are thinking the same thing I am. Is she going to do it upside down again? I know me pretty gosh darn well, and it's possible. But no, I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to get it right this time. Where I struggle, as much as I brag about, getting my seams down, having that mastered, I haven't mastered the art of lining up the bottom where your cut ends meet. And when I a couple of videos back too, I told you guys that I had to redo my printer because it told me that my what's that thing called? I used to call it a puke tank. It's where your ink fills up. It said that my waste tank, there you go, my waste tank was full. So I had to do this thing. There is a video on YouTube that tells you how to do that. Don't go spending a bunch of money. I spent, I think, $10 to fix it because you have to buy like a key thing. I won't go into that. They go into that on the video. Anyway, I had to redo my printer. And when I did, for some reason, it was doing this because I think, I don't know why. It has something to do with all that in the cleaning process. Oops. But anyway, I'm gonna press it anyway. I don't care. This is for me. This is my cup. I put my little piece of tape in the middle there. You saw that I lined it up. You know, it's not upside down. We're gonna double check that. Criminy. And I put one here, and I want to put one here. I just used 3 pieces of tape. This is how I wrap for a press. But you'll see what I'm talking about. See that? Well, I'm not talking about the ink. I'm talking about my cut edge. My cut edge goes over a little bit. I don't care. It's fine. The top, I always try to make sure that there's none of the cup showing. But on the bottom, oh, too funny. Is it going to be lined up this time? I can't show you because it's perfect this time. Imagine that. So maybe we're doing 3 cups. But anyway, once I get it wrapped, I will slide my finger. I always kind of go like this. You'll see me kind of go like this. I want to make sure that it's not curling. You know, I try to cut that back so it's not going to curl. I do feel a little bit of movement in this one, but I'm going to go forward with it and see. Because I already got it taped on there, and it's just my personal cup. But it's not bending, but I can tell it's a little bit over. But yeah, 3 little pieces of tape. And I'm going to stick it in my press. I'm not going to let the seam be on the top. I'm going to turn it. So I'm putting this in my press. My press is at 355. I cannot tell you how long I press them because I don't know. I don't time them. When I said this in the other videos, when I got my press, it said 45 seconds, rotate, do another 22 seconds. So I did that, found out that I had ghosting on both ends. So of course after being in the groups and learning stuff, a lot of people were saying you have to press your ends. So I did 45 seconds, rotated, did 22 seconds, pressed my ends and for just a few seconds on each one and rotated it. Still had a little bit of ghosting on both ends. So through trial and error and lots of money, I've discovered that I press them longer than people are saying. You burn your cups. I'm a strong advocate for the fact that you are not burning your cups. I don't want to be, I'm not trying to say that people who believe that, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to say how I feel, because for me, it does not make sense to me that you're going to put a tumbler into a toaster oven. See, I'm way over 45 seconds already. That you're not going to put a cup into a toaster oven at like 370 for 5 minutes, or an air fryer at 400 for 6 minutes, and not burn them at all. They turn out great. That's what everybody is kind of set at, those time frames and stuff. But people are convinced that if you put a tumbler into a press at 355 for 60 seconds, you're burning them if they have a little bit of brown. That don't make sense to me. So it never made sense to me. So, but that's not how I discovered that you wasn't burning them. I am going to rotate this now. You're leaning on my press, so you have to deal with my arms. Sorry. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying because I do that a lot. I lose my place. But you're not burning them. You're just not burning them. You're just not. This one, yeah, I went way over. way over. And you saw in my last video where I sublimated a name onto a cup that I already had subbed, and I subbed it forever. But it makes sense. Oh, that's what I was saying. See, it came back to me. I knew it would. When I put a cup in one day, I had forgotten that I had my press set for ceramic cups. I'm going to flip this over. I take this out. I set it down and I flip it first. I don't know why. Can't say bad words on here. Ah! I don't know why I flip it, but I flip it. This is my cup, so I don't care. I'm going to leave this. I was probably going to edit that out, but I'm not going to. People make mistakes. This happens, and I like to show that too. We screw up. We all do. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I screw up. I pressed my name backwards or upside down or whatever I did last time, so just know that it's going to happen. If you're going to do this, you have to really be okay with those things, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself because I didn't just cuss like crazy, because that's what I normally would do. But then I lost my place again about what I found that I was going to tell you. Good Lord. Maybe I should start this all over. But, oh, it came back to me. So maybe I won't start it over. I was doing ceramic mugs, trying them out and stuff, and I forgot to switch the time. So ceramic mugs is over 200 and some odd freaking seconds. I don't know how many seconds it is. But ceramic mugs take a lot longer. And I accidentally left my cup in. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I hadn't even rotated it yet. It was a full-blown thing, and I hadn't even rotated or done my IDs. So I went forward with it, and I'm just going to do it. I don't care. It's my cup. I didn't care. So I did it, and it came out the most perfect cup I ever did. Most perfect cup. And it was a black full wrap, and I had no seam at all. And I'm like, people are not burning these cups. They're just not. And that's when it hit me. And I know I'm probably going on about that, but I was in a group where somebody kind of come at me a little bit about that again, saying that, she's been doing cups long enough that she knows what a burnt cup is, and that cup was burnt. Well, God bless you. Bless your heart. I ain't even Southern and I say that. And I don't know. I'm just not going to go there. And I, love the lady to pieces. I love everybody. I don't judge people. People don't judge me. And if she wants to believe that, that's fine. And she's not the only one. I'm not trying to single her out. I'm not going to give her a name or anything. But I just felt like, okay. Because I was trying to help someone and they only had I want to say, I'm sweating. They only had their cup in, I think at 350 for like 50 seconds. And it had some brown and ghosting on the bottom. And they were telling her that brown was burnt. I'm like, it's not burnt. No. You know what I should do? Maybe I will. I do have an extra cat. I think I'm going to put that cat in, wrap him on a cup. I hate to waste a cup. And just like put him in there. Maybe I'll do it another time though, but maybe put him in and sub him for like 50 seconds, not even flip him over, or maybe not even the 50 seconds, like 20 seconds, and just show people that it's going to look brown. It's going to look brown before it looks black. Obviously, apparently. Sorry, I do go on. And I don't want to come across as angry about that. I'm not really angry about that because people, this person says that she does it and that her cups come out perfectly. Well, then God bless. Then you're doing what you need to do, and by all means give the advice, but don't tell me my advice is wrong. There's lots of people you can get advice from. Doesn't mean it's right. You go with what you want to go with. Yeah, this cup was in there for 1,000,000 years. And look, I didn't put it upside down. It's my name. It probably looks backwards to you on my video, but I said it before and I'll say it again. I love the colors of this design. So pretty. I can't tell if you can tell, but yeah, there's no seam. There's no ghosting. And yeah, that little line down there lined up pretty good. That's this down here where the paper meets is what I was saying. There were a lot of times that's where I can't ever usually get it right. You know, like one piece of paper is a little bit longer than the other, and I can tell there. But yeah, it's so pretty. That one turned out good. So now we're gonna do the toaster oven. And unlike the press that really presses and that you rely on to be the part of getting it tight, the toaster oven, you don't have anything pushing and getting it tight. So you do have to be tighter with the press, or with the toaster oven. So I'm gonna wrap for the toaster oven. In the video that you saw before, I used the thicker masking tape, but this time I'm doing the silicone bands. I'm going to the silicone bands. So, which I had switched to almost immediately after that video, just because I think that I like to use them. They go on quicker for me than to do the tape. So, at first, it's full black. I want to show that. My full black light. Yeah, I'm not afraid of full black. You shouldn't be either. Okay. Except it's kind of still like, some people will let these dry all night before they mess with them. Not I. I go right in. So this, I make sure there's no I'm not pulling on it by any means, but I'm making sure it's smooth, and I really push it out, you know, like so that there's no gappiness. That's the word. Is that a word? I might have just made that up. No gappy. And it kind of sticks up a little bit. But this time, I'm going to take a piece of tape all the way down the seam, just to try to stop any air from getting in there. We don't want any air in there at all. So I kind of just eyeball it. And I get it to stick on that piece, that side first, and then I do, you know, I don't want to say pull, but I'm not afraid to say pull. I do make sure that I push it to get any air that might be in there out. You know, you don't want no air. We don't want any air. I didn't go all the way to the top or right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. There's that little off cut that I was talking about. My cut is a little off. You see it stick up there a little bit. This, no matter what it does, this tumbler is a black cat, and you can't have white on a black cat. So I am going to do another tutorial. It seems like my videos run into the next video, because this one, at some point, I'm going to come in and I'll be painting the bottom of this black and adding some glitter to the bottom, like a real pretty black glitter. And I might come in and paint his eyes with a mica, that amber color of his eyes, the orange. And I'm turning it into a glitter tumbler. I'm going to do a tutorial for people who do both, like people who want to epoxy and kind of glam up their tumblers with the epoxy and glitter. So we'll do that with this, because it's a black cat. It has to be all black. But this is the first stage. We're going to use the toaster oven to do it. Get my bands. I'm going to come in here with my bands. I stretch them and I let it sit down, but I leave one finger in there and try to wind it I just go in and turn it. I go all the way around the cup with my finger until I get it about midway. You can push them like a little bit. I used to do that, the push, push, push. But it's faster for me just to get them on there. I have torn a cup doing this, like, you know, catching it on the top. But it still turned out okay because I ended up, I don't mind if I leave a little bit of gap there, but yeah, I tore it, but that last piece, I get on there, I push it all the way up to the end, so it ended up being okay. I just made sure it was flat to the cup. I think I might have even slapped a piece of tape over it. And if you can do, you know, push them with your fingers to get them right where you want them, you know, if you want. I don't know, to me, I like doing this more than I like doing all that masking tape rolling. This last one, I just push it up, make sure that it's covering. I make sure that all the paper, that no paper can be seen right here. No paper, it's all pushed in. Now I flip it over and do the other end. I am still leaving that other video with the masking tape because, see how it's starting to curl? But, like I said, I'm going to get that last one on there and push it and get it. I try not to do that. I try to get it on there without even touching that top. But this is just basically acting as our press. And I am going to do it at 400 for 6 minutes because that's what I do the air fryer at, and to me they're the same thing. So I'm going to push the limits with it. I'm going to put in there for a long time to just kind of show that you don't burn them. I might go 8 minutes. Yeah, I think I'll do 400 for 8 minutes just to show that it's not going to burn. Watch me burn it. But anyway, there it is. I got the bands on there instead of... I did my 3 little pieces of tape, 1 strip of tape down the seam, nice and flat, nice and smooth. And then I just got those all on there. And now I have to spin you around with my oven says I still have 12 minutes to wait, but we'll just stop it and change it. So, because I have it going so that it'll be up to temperature. So, let me, well, I'm not going to flip you around until I get over there because I don't want you to see my messy kitchen. I'm blocking you. Put that here. I'm going to want to sit down because I don't want to stand over here for that long. Plug my phone in because I think I'm getting a little bit, I don't want it dying on me. And I'm thirsty because I'm sitting in this hot press. Okay. Now I'll flip it around. Okay. So, I don't know what you just saw. Hopefully nothing crazy. I have a little thermometer in here. Oh, I couldn't talk. If you notice, this says it's only about 3 and not quite 360 in here, but it's been sitting on 400 this whole time. This is just to show you and to prove to you this is the reason that you need to have a thermometer in there. If you are set on a certain temperature that you want this to be, yeah, you need to have that thermometer in there, because this has been going the whole time that I right before I turned it on. So I might just wait the 2 minutes and see if it comes up a little bit. Yeah, it's just almost at 360, right? Yeah. I have bad eyes, so that was my glass. That was my, oh, my light came on. Good. I wanted my light to be on. It says 9 minutes. Well, heck. I'm gonna get my tongs. So in the process of getting my tongs, I hit a button that knocked my phone off. It's at the 8 minutes. I wanted to put it in at 8 minutes. Yeah, we're at 360 when this is set at 400. Good point to show that you need. I got my door open. Let me be quick here. Got my tongs. Stick him in there. Get him centered. Okay. So I got him in there for 8 minutes. So at 4 minutes, I'm going to flip him over. But this is a good little point to. I'm glad it did this, because to show that I've got that sitting on 400. It's been on 400 for quite a while, and it's only registering at 360. So this is why you need to have that thermometer in there, because if you're wanting it that certain temperature, then you need to do that. Now, all these ovens are true to their temperature. I know the fan's on, and my oven's doing a funny thing, and it might be because of, oh, don't touch it. Yeah, the fan's going. I can feel the fan going. I touched the top and not the side. Jeez Louise. So yeah, now we wait 7 minutes. What can we talk about for 7 minutes? I don't know. Might I don't really want to edit it out, but we'll see. I'm gonna sit here. I might end up editing this part out. We'll see. We'll see. At this point, I would, if I were not on video, I would have my Alexa. I can't say it louder. She's sensitive. Play me some classic country music, or some old 70s music, or light rock, or AC/DC. I'm all over the place with music, but some people, when they're doing their workouts and they're walking or they're whatever they're doing, cardio, whatever, they gotta have that fast-paced music. You give me some classic old Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, George Jones, all that stuff. I could walk for miles out here on these dirt roads, for miles. I've walked 5 miles before, trying to get, back to good. I'm not the healthiest person, or haven't been. And I'm definitely way overweight. I have lost 50 pounds in the last year, a little over a year. When I was diagnosed type 2 diabetic, I really, really had to get my act together. My doctor cut my carbs to 50 carbs a day. and I went on Ozempic, which is famous for weight loss, but I don't know why, because it actually stalled my weight loss. I lost 50 pounds just cutting back to 50 carbs a day. But as soon as I went on the Ozempic, my weight loss stalled. Completely stalled. I'm not on anything right now. My insurance, there's an insurance issue that goes on with that Ozempic for a lot of people. 4 minutes, so I'm going to flip it over. Oh, my light came on. See, there's something going on with my toaster oven. I don't know what it is. I haven't used it in a really long time. I'm going to flip it. Some people, to flip or not to flip, I don't know. Don't fall on there. Get off there. I'm just going to have every single issue that you can have. Don't do that again. I'm losing my heat. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Is this a tutorial or a comedy act? A comedy show? I don't know. It's your call. It's a coin toss. Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. I gotta wait for it to come back to me. Flip or not to flip. That's what it was. To flip or not to flip. It just depends. Some people say flip. Some people don't say flip. I flip. I don't know why I flip. I just always have. And they come out good for me, so why would I want to change it? Why would I do anything different? I don't want to change it. I don't want to do anything different. My oven usually doesn't run low like this on me, so I have it usually up in my craft room, so I don't know if maybe there's just it's not pulling enough power from being I've got this electrical problem going on. Any electricians out there can tell me what's going on? Would that make a difference? So I'm just gonna also have to go by how my tumbler looks, which was, fine with me. We're gonna hit all the problems. All the problems you can have, we're gonna address those. I like to see my seam be black. I like to, I want to see the ink coming through. That's something that I want to see. Usually my paper starts to brown. I want to see my paper start to brown a little bit. If it's not, I'm going to leave it in there. Because I usually do 370 for 5 minutes. We're doing 360-ish. We ought to get tired for, what did I say, 8? So I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it and see what I think. And I don't know what the temperature is because I knocked it over. It's knocked over, so I can't check it. I'm not worried. Are you worried? I'm not worried. Nope, I am not worried. I'll probably just leave this in the video and you guys can just fast forward if you want through the boring part. It's about to beep. It's about to go. But I'm not guaranteed I'm going to pull it. I want to see what it looks like. Any second now. Beep, beep, beep. I'm going to look at it. What am I looking for? I don't know. I can see black coming through at the top a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the black ink? I can see it. The bottom, I can't see it because maybe I can. Yeah, I can't see it at the bottom. My paper isn't like brown at all. That's a little worrisome. I like it to look brown. I'm gonna give it another minute. I'm gonna prove to these people that I don't burn these freaking cups. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. Yeah, let's push the envelope, shall we? I don't know what the temperature is now. I don't care either. I'm just going over. That's all I know. Okay. That was a lot of dingling, and sorry. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. So that'd be 10 minutes. I'm crazy. You might not want to watch me. If you're one of those people that has to have like even when I cook, you have to have the recipe exact. And I was the baker. I worked at a junior high and I was a cook for 11 years. I was the head cook for a few years. And I did the baking all that time, pretty much all that time. And yeah, I'm not accurate about stuff. I mean, I'm accurate when it comes to like the, what I want to say, like the baking soda and the baking powder, flour, stuff like that. I'm accurate, but I'm not accurate when it comes to that other stuff like cinnamon, vanilla. Nope, not accurate at all. I'm an overachiever. I had extras of all that stuff. Pumpkin spice, oh yeah. One and a half tablespoons and an oops. Oops, I spilled it. Spilled half that jar in there. I want to see black on the seam. I want to see black ink on the seam is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting to see. Well, don't get me started on paranormal, because I believe in that stuff too. Maybe my electrical problem isn't my appliances. Maybe it's something else. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Here, my chair. I have a very squeaky chair. I don't even know where the seam is. But see, that's just it. I want to know that oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah, in your faces. Sorry. See, the tape is starting to burn. I'm starting to see some ink on the tape. That's what I want to see. I want to see ink on that tape. Yeah, I think it's good. We're going to pull it. I'm pulling it. Okay, hang on. I got to get back over to the table. I got to flip you back around because I don't want to. Okay. My charger. What did you see back there? Quit looking so hard. Oh. Now, should I let it cool off? I usually do not. I usually don't. But we'll see. I might. Hang on. My phone is charging, so I'm doing something weird. Sorry. Please don't leave me. This is still hot. But trust me, I've been known to just go at it. I don't wait. Same with the tape, I use my fingers and just the tip of my finger and just go at it, getting that stuff off. Honestly, I think I could have left it in there a couple more minutes, honestly. I'm okay with it though, because like I said, I can see the black coming through the seam. And that's why I said with the press, look at where I left that in there. Don't tell me that someone's burning their cup in their press when it's only been in there for 50 seconds or 60 seconds at 350. I'm never gonna buy that. Never. I'm just pushing and tugging them. You can't see, but I'm pushing and pushing and pushing until I get to the end and then getting it off of there with the tip of my finger. This is still really hot. I'll do the other one down here. Let's see now you can see, can you see it? I'll just show you where the seam is. You can see the black here. That's what you want to see too. I like to see that. And I like to see the black in the seam. So that, usually that's an indicator to me that it took fine. I'm turning it and pushing, turn, push on these little bands till I get them to the end and then can pull it off. I should have turned off my toaster oven. Push in, turn, push it, turn, push it. Can I touch it yet? No, I cannot touch it. I'll show you what this looks like on the seam before I go off. I would like to see the cat's eyes. I'll just push it on both hands now. I'd love to see the cat's eyes coming through because, you know, if we can see where the cat's eyes are, which I do, I can see it right there. I see the eye. I actually, that also tells me I could have went a little longer because I don't see it real prominent. I see it, but we could have seen it more. I don't know, because you probably can't see it, and I can, and you should be able to see it too. We definitely probably could have went a couple more minutes, but that's okay. I don't know if I've already said this, I started with a toaster oven, and it got to the point with the toaster oven, kind of like I do, where I did it so long with the toaster oven that I didn't really worry about the time and temperature there either. I was looking for that image to come through where I could see it really well. If I could see the details of the image coming through, then it was ready. I got a lot of bands on here. I can actually hold on to it now. It's hot, but I can handle it. It's not too hot for me. We're almost there. I've been pulling on this so much, I'm pulling this paper down. That tells you how it wasn't super tight on there because I'm pulling it off. I'm pulling it off. And I don't see any ghosting up there anywhere. But yeah, there's this, what the seam looks like. It's perfectly fine. You can see it browning. It was starting to burn the tape. It was, the black's coming through. Now we're gonna open up this seam. I'm just going to start ripping now. I would challenge you to tell me where that seam is. on the toaster oven. Black. No ghosting on the bottom anywhere. No ghosting on the top anywhere. This tumbler, like I said, is for a friend. So this, I'm going to paint this. Glitter, have some black glitter going up here. Not all the way with the black, but just on the bottom. Have it black glittered. And then sparkled. I'll have it sparkled. And I'm going to go in and hand paint with mica powder into those eyes a little bit. Give it like a mica. And yeah. I almost wish I would have subbed this on a glow in the dark. Just with like and did like the green-eyed cat. That would be pretty. Anyway, my witchy friends are getting a black cat. But that is the toaster oven. And to do a quick recap of it, we did what did we do? I had it on 400 for 6 minutes first. No, 8 minutes. 400 for 8 minutes. My temperature inside was only registering at 360-ish. And of course, when you open that door, you're taking that down a little bit. So probably like my 355 in my press. And so we did 8 minutes. I flipped it at 4. I can't remember if I flipped it back when I decided to put it back in. It kind of flipped itself, right? I dropped it. But we went 2 more minutes. So even if I hadn't had that little flub up, I know that if I want to make another one right now, if I want to make another one of these right now, what I would do is I would put my toaster oven at 400 for 10 minutes and I'd flip it at 5. And my inside of my oven is only registering for that at about, the temperature's keeping probably about 355 to 360, 65, maybe in that area somewhere. Whatever. Yeah, in there somewhere. And it's not burnt at all. Nowhere. Nope. Okay. So next up is the air fryer. Just a second. Okay, now we're going to do the air fryer, which to me is no different than the convection oven. But, I mean, it's going to do the actual 400. Air fryer is true to the temperature. I mean, it's blowing that heat. I don't know why the convection ovens, I don't know, it's because they're such a larger capacity or how they're made. I don't know. But I have before put, a few times put the thermometer in the air fryer, and it's true to the temperature. So I know that it's going to blow 400 degrees, so I'm only going to do the 6 minutes. But, I mean, could I go longer? Probably. I don't know how long it's going to take it to burn, but I'm not going to ruin a cup trying to prove how long. So we'll just do 400 for 6 minutes. But same black design for my non-black cat witchy friends. I don't judge people. Don't judge me. I'm not a witch. I've been called one. A time or 10. But I'm not. Oh, funny story. I don't want to offend anyone who's a witch. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone. But I'm not a witch, so, and I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But what's funny about it is me and my husband, we moved a lot for his jobs. I'm wrapping this up the same way I just did for the toaster oven. So there's nothing to really tell you. So I couldn't tell you a story. So you're going to just the mercy of my story. So we moved around a lot, and we moved to this little town. We went and looked at this double wide trailer. It wasn't in a trailer park, it was just on a lot. And the person who was running it lived right there, right next door in a house, a big house. And we were over talking to her, it's a really nice lady. She showed us the house and everything, or the mobile home, and we liked it. And she liked us. I mean, we had a really good conversation, I guess, and she was ready to just let us rent it. and we said we'd like to have it. You know, we had 5 small kids, so we were in a hurry to get moved, and he was switching jobs. So anyway, so she's like, I need you to sign a lease. She comes out, and she comes outside with the lease. We rented our car. I mean, we didn't even go to inside or do anything. Anyway, so she comes out with the lease, and we signed it. We gave the deposit and was ready to just move in. And then she says, as she's getting ready to walk away, she says, well, I want you to know that I'm a witch. I just want to tell you, so you know that you're not surprised by that. She goes, if you see me in the backyard, like peeing in the backyard, squatting down in my backyard, peeing, then I'm just, you know, don't pay any attention. I'm just really upset with someone and I'm casting a spell. And then we were like, okay. I mean, for us it is funny. I mean, funny like, what did we just get ourselves into? And then she's like, okay, you know, it's move-in ready. Whenever you want to move in, it's fine with me. And she walks away with this lease, and I'm like, just kidding. Because what if she gets mad at me? Just because I don't believe in it, you know, doesn't mean that, you know, it's not real. And I'm like, what if she's peeing in the yard because one of my kids, you know, went in her yard and she didn't like it. But anyway, I was just like, well, we moved in. She was a really nice person. We never had any problems at all. But and she said she got a really good vibe from me. So God bless. I just thought that was the funniest thing. Because there's no, I'm like, she could have told us that before we signed the lease and gave us, you know, to let us decide. Oh, I find humor and stuff. Everything, actually. But I'm doing this the same way. I'm just gonna, I usually don't, I mean, I've done several of these where I don't put that piece of tape down, like all the way down. I just do my 3 and I put less bands when it's like not a black full wrap, but a black full wrap, I'm gonna, you know, you want it to come out. You don't want to take chances, so I'm just gonna make sure that it's got bands around there. And I don't know. See, I'm so far into this video and I'm gonna do some editing. I do know that. I'm definitely, you're not gonna see a real thing that I said and did. You're gonna see what you do see. I shouldn't show you. But anyway, why are you being like that? These are new bands. I don't like this one. It's really tight. I told you I don't want to get carpal tunnel. I'm not trying to get myself carpal tunnel. What's going on here? Something's going on here. I don't want to mess it up. What are you doing? I don't know. Anyway, that was just a weirdness that happened right there. It looks like I'm really pulling, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not hurting myself. But if it's not a full black wrap, I've been known to not go crazy with these. The only time I really use the air fryer is, I don't know if I told you that, because like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of editing. If I get this, I'll say it again, whatever. If I get like the sippy cup order or 12 ounce, the small ones, no matter how much I tighten up my press, it's not going to hug those little smaller cups for me. So, I think I actually want one more. I'll just skip that one. I'll go right over it. So, it means I've got it into place. So, which I have successfully done one in a press, and it took me about the 6 minutes, because what I did was I put it in my press after I put these little bands on it. I put the bands on it. because I thought that would help it to make it a little bit bigger so it would do it, but it still didn't, like, it still wasn't tight enough. And I already had them on there, so plus I figured I needed it because nothing was pressing against it. But I knew that the bed of my press was still the 355. So I let it lay on the bed of my press for like 60 seconds. I pulled it out and turned it a little bit, pushed it back in, let it lay on the bed of my press until I did full circle. Till I knew that every part of that had at least been 60 seconds or more on the press, on the bed of the press, where it was actually, just sitting like that on the bed. And it turned out, it did great. But I found that I didn't want to sit here and, keep doing that. That's very time consuming. So that's when I decided to take my personal air fryer that I was using for food and convert it, which basically just means I subbed a cup in it, so now I can't use it for food anymore. I wonder if that's what I did. I wonder if I went against my, when I do this, I try to, I stick my finger in there and roll it around, and I try to go with the same direction as my overlap. Like my overlap is going this way, so I try to go that way. So I think I might have went against it because it's got like a little bit of a, it's popped up a little bit there, so I could say I'm worried, but I'm a little worried. We'll see. I'm moving forward. I don't care. You're going to hear me say I don't care a lot because I really don't. The good Lord will let happen what's going to happen. And that's the end of it. It's like that. I can't remember the name of the movie. I said my piece and counted to 3. It just is what it is. Rambling. And you'll see that the paper is sticking in. I don't know if you can tell. You see that? Where it's like right here. Where is it? Right here. I keep catching that. I keep catching it and catching it and catching it, sticking it. But that doesn't matter because that last one I get on there, I'm going to push it up and it'll push it back down. I got a lot of bands on this one. It's fine. It's fine. And I also don't know if I mentioned, a lot of people when they're putting these bands on, they think, well, these bands, sometimes they come out uneven. They're uneven. This is darker and this is not, and this is darker. Well, there's only so much ink you're going to get off your paper. When your cup is fully subbed, all of the ink that's going to come off that paper should have come off that paper and went on there. So if you're having unevenness where this is darker, this is lighter, this is darker, this is lighter, you did not leave it in there long enough to get all that ink off, because it's not like there's more ink here on this spot and this spot and this spot. You didn't, all the ink didn't get pushed over or something, like transferred over. So to me, and I'm not a scientist or a chemist or whatever you would need to be for this, what would you need to be? I don't know. I'm not someone who knows the technicalities of all that, but to me, things in my brain, the way my brain works is there's only so much ink on this paper. And you aren't going to have uneven lines if you got it all off. If all the ink on that paper transferred over, it's going to be nice and even. Because it printed nice and even. So, in theory, my brain, that makes more sense to me. So, my advice is if you're having that, do it longer. Leave it in there longer. People are going to start getting mad at me because I keep saying you're not going to burn them. Eventually you are going to burn them because you burn to, which someone has already asked me, and I'm going to do that soon. I'm going to burn the image off of a cup. But I've never paid attention to when the actual burn takes place. I know that I've had them in there for over an hour, and that it doesn't always, it doesn't ever come all the way off. Even when you burn an image off, you're just burning it till it's just like as much of the image is gone as possible. And then people will come in and resub over it with a dark image. Like that, this cat image would be perfect for a resub. Burn off an image that you didn't want and then sub that cat over it at Halloween time. Yeah. I did the black cat last year, and people really liked it. But the black cat sold at my craft mall, the one that I did. I didn't do the same one, but these are just gifts for friends. And yes, I am a Christian woman who loves her Lord Jesus Christ, and I got witch friends, and I love them to pieces. I do. They're fun people, and I love them. They don't judge me, and I don't judge them. It's at 406 minutes right now. But I'm still going to reset it because I don't know how long it's been at 6 minutes. So we'll just cancel it and then redo it. But I got to turn you around because this is ready to go into the air fryer now. So hang on. Well, I'm not turning you around until I get you over there because I don't want you seeing my mess. One of these days you're going to see my mess. It's going to make me crazy. Some of you might be really good at looking and seeing it already. Don't do that. Okay. Let me spin you around. Okay, here's my air fryer. I am going to stop it because I don't know how long it's been on that 6 minutes. It must have just turned over. It blows it. I don't want it to cool off, so we're going to stop that from happening right now. And we're going to turn it back on. I'm going to turn my temperature to 400 and my timer to 6 minutes. I'm going to, it's pretty preheated if you ask me. Oh, what's that? Ew, there's a piece of paper in there. Oh, that's parchment paper, probably. Ah! No, piece of tape. One of my pieces of masking tape. I don't have this set back far enough. Hang on. I don't want to burn myself. Okay. And it's not the cleanliest looking thing because... And I just put it in there. I just toss it in there. It's in. It's in. It just fits in my air fryer. And we're going to... Darn it. Gotta do it again. 400 for 6 minutes. It'll get right back up to temperature. I don't know what I was saying. I did it again. Oh, it's messy in my air fryer because I did use this for food. I'd used it for a really long time. But then I put this on there. My toaster oven, I don't have anything like this warning that it's for sublimation use only now because it doesn't sit in my kitchen. It's in my craft room. And my craft room is something you will probably never see because, oh my gosh, is that messy. Oh yeah, it's super duper messy. Super duper. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to keep you hanging for 6 minutes or not. Because that's what this is going to do for 6 minutes, is just do that. Okay. I wish I could do a live and do like a question and answer, but I can't because I haven't been on YouTube long enough, I don't think. There's certain things you have to do, certain qualifications and stuff, which I was going to do each of these videos separate because YouTube... At some point, I do want to monetize. I mean, I feel like I'm giving classes, almost like a teacher type thing. I don't know, not to try to explain that, but I do want to eventually get there. We'll see. But I have some compensation, a little bit for my time. And maybe throw some affiliate links with the stuff that I use and the things I use. I don't know because I'm not real bright about things like that. I'm going to have to watch YouTube to learn how to YouTube. All I know is I've been uploading videos. I'm probably going to get in trouble for something. I don't know, like, the copyright laws, there's copyright laws. You got to be careful too because I sell my tumblers. So I try to be careful. I usually buy off Etsy, or was buying off Etsy, but I have come to find out that with Etsy, like, there's a lot of copyright graphics on Etsy, so you got to be careful with what you're doing. And I thought for the longest time, well, I purchased that image, so I have the right to use it. I purchased it, I get to use it, right? My very first video that I ever did, but it was a gift. And if you're using things for personal use, there's a big difference between personal use and selling. That video where I am wrapping up the thing that's got Stitch on there, that I made for my granddaughter Alexis. So it was her Christmas present that year. But that's copyright. Stitch is copyright, and there's nobody that's allowed to have that except for, I think, corporations or something. But like your Disney and things like that, those are even some people who create images on Etsy that they created themselves. It's copyright. You don't own it. You don't have the right to it. I personally, which I don't know if I'm able to put links yet for things, because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube either. I think I have to have 500 subscribers before I can put links. I don't know the rules. I've been trying to read up on that. But when I can, I'll throw you a link, throw links down with all the stuff that I use. If you even want to know that. Some people ask, that's why, I'm not saying use exactly what I use or it ain't going to work out for you. I'm not like that. I'm not that. No. But some people do want to know what I use. I've been asked what paper to use, what printer to use, what ink to use, and stuff like that. I think the only thing you guys really know for sure right now is that I use masking tape from Dollar General. But how much time we got? We got 3 minutes. I'm trying to babble for 3 minutes. But when it comes to copyright, I think if you are worried about copyright or you don't know, I can see the top of my head, my scalp. I have alopecia. But anyway, if you're worried about copyright, I personally would recommend, you can ask in groups or research, but I know that Creative Fabrica is very popular, and their images you can use them for commercial use. When you join and subscribe and purchase images, read their terms and conditions, of course. But all the images on Creative Fabrica, I know with the subscription, you get the commercial license to sell. You can put it on things to sell. You can't sell that design. Like you can't go in and say, oh, I love this design, I'm going to buy it. Now I'm going to put it on Etsy and sell it as a design. No, you have to put it on something. You have to make a tumbler or a t-shirt or, stuff like that. There's rules. So read the rules and regulations when it comes to that. We only got 1 minute left. And I might edit all this out because I don't know if you want to hear me babble. I don't know. Beep already. This is my plastic cup that I made in my DIY. I set up at vendor shows, like farmers markets and stuff. And I have, I think I have like 5,000 stickers now. And where you can come to my booth and I sell plastic tumblers. This is a double-walled 16-ounce tumbler. And all the stickers you want on it, you buy the tumbler and then you can put all the stickers you want on it to decorate it up for the price of the tumbler. And that's really popular. People, they really do like it. It's catching on, so. Okay, it's on cool-down mode, so let's go get it. Switch you around. No, not yet. I'm not switching you. I switched in my kitchen. Nice try. Okay. I'm just going to grab it out of here. I'll show you that I'm grabbing it. I'm going to set it down because I'm one-handed. I don't have those fancy camera things. I'm not going to either. I'm not spending money on that. I did have a tripod at one time, but I didn't like it. It was floppy and did weird things, and I'm like, just hold my camera. Maybe I'll get my brother Kirk to video me sometime. Hold it for me. I don't know how good he would do. I don't know. But, I'm going to set you down now. Same thing with the toaster oven. I'm looking, and I can see right where my seam is. It's right there. Which one of these pieces of tape is kind of buckled. That worries me a little bit. But I see the ink coming through, so I think we're okay. But, yeah. Hang on a minute. Because here it takes me 500 years to tap this stuff off. It looks exactly the same as the one in the toaster oven coming out. Like I said, I love to see that ink bleed. That's what I look for. If that ink is coming through, that means it's the seam all the way down. Then your chance of having ghosting there, or ghosting, a bad seam is pretty nil. Because I see ink all the way down. Now, where it buckles up there, it's faded, but there is ink there. So I'm hopeful. It's so hot. I don't want anyone burning themselves, so if you need to get the mitts or let it cool off first, by all means. I'm just a daredevil, but I don't want anybody coming around saying that I told you that it was okay to just, don't come back and try to sue me because you got third-degree burns, thinking that I was telling you, go ahead, don't use them. By all means, I want you to protect yourself. I worked in a school for 11 years, and I'm used to messing with hot stuff. Hot, that's really hot. But I don't have patience for nothing. I mean, I do, but I don't. I just like to get it done. I want to see. And you know what? Doing these 3 years, I've been doing these, and even if I'm doing the same design, which I've done, I've done big orders where I've done several of the same design for people, and each one is just like open a Christmas present. I get excited about it. This is definitely my calling, because I'm crazy excited about these things. My daughter, I'll mess one up and I'll be like, oh my gosh, where that paper meets, and I mess up the paper really bad. I'm like, oh, you can really tell at the bottom where that paper is longer on this side than the other. And she's like, oh my God, Mom, people don't care. I'm like, I care. Or if I didn't center something good enough, that's a big one I do a lot. Like, even the cat, the one I'm sitting here looking at it, I wish his face was a little bit lower. Here, I'll take a break and show you. This is the one we did. This is the one we did in the toaster oven. But his eyes are up here. I almost wish they were down here more. I don't know why. But I just do. Stuff like that. My daughter says I'm crazy. She's like, Mom, nobody cares. I can't be the only one on the planet who thinks those eyes should be lower. But also, talking about copyright, I have to, I don't ever want to see any of you get in trouble for that stuff, so be careful. I'm in the free graphic groups. I'm in a lot of them, and I had tons of graphics that are copyright. Tons. I had 20-some thousand graphics, but have since been going through and deleting any and all things. If I don't know that I have the actual license that I can show, that I can use that to sell, then don't. It's not worth it, because they'll shut your business down. They'll take all your stuff. And yeah, they take your printers and shut you down. But so yeah, I've been deleting stuff that this design I made on Canva. And Canva, you can't, just because you make something on Canva, go on to YouTube, you're on YouTube, and look up the Canva guy that, I love his accent, by the way. He talks about Canva's copyright, you know, what you can and cannot do with Canva. But I made this design on Canva, and it's gifts for friends. I'm not charging for these. I'm not getting money for them. But you can ask. You can reach out. Even if you get a design on Etsy, reach out and ask them, what does this license do? See, the thing about Etsy, and I don't want to discount Etsy. I don't want to be in trouble for saying anything bad about Etsy. But the designers there, they have the right to the copyright to tell you what they accept and what they don't accept. Some of them are limited use. Like, there was one graphic I bought, I can't even remember which one it was, that you were only allowed to sell 200 copies of it. I'm like, well, how do they know I was going to sell 200 copies of it? So I don't purchase those anymore. I'm like, see that black ink right there? Under that band, you see the ink. This is more than concentrating on your time. Concentrate on your temperature, nice and hot. This was 400 degrees for 6 minutes. My toaster oven, you saw, I will do, well, I'll tell you what the temperature inside the oven was. I would do like 360 for 10 minutes. 5 minutes, flip it, 5 more minutes, and get it. But more than that, think of your temperature. I would say 355 or high, or between 355 and 400 degrees. But pay attention to this stuff, that you got the ink coming through, that you can see the ink, you know, before you even unwrap it. You can see that there's ink coming out, you know. That's what you look for. Or the design that you can see. Now, you can't really see it, probably, but his eye is right there. I can see his eye looking at me through the paper. You want to see that. Now we'll see how we did. With the air fryer, I usually just do my smaller sippy cups and the cups with the handles I do in the air fryer if I'm doing a full wrap. If it's not going underneath that handle, if I don't want need my design to go under the handle itself, like if I'm just putting like a basic image on it, I won't put it in there. If I use my press and just let the handle stick out. But if I want my image to go completely under the handle, then what I do is, that's another one I may have to do a tutorial on. I will put the masking tape all the way around. I'll take a long piece of masking tape and go around under the handle part where it's under the handle and tape it. And then I'll put my bands the rest of the way, the top and bottom, and then I put it in the air fryer. And now I put again, I will challenge you. Tell me where that seam is. If you can find it, tell me. I mean, there's tape, kind of a little bit of tape residue there I need to wash off. But you can't see the seam. There's no ghosting. That's tape residue. Let me see if you can tell. Yeah, see? That's what I'm bad at. I'm bad at that right there. See where the one was longer than the other? That's what I do all the freaking time. Makes me insane. Maybe someday I'll perfect that. But see, up here I've got some white, and I don't like white. You know, like this white. But these will be my next tutorial, or one of them, will be me glittering these, turning these into a epoxy bling cup. I'm going to bling them out. I actually have mica powders that do glow in the dark. I might have to try, you know, putting some glow-in-the-dark mica on those eyes. I have orange, an amber, like an orange. And you wouldn't know it until the lights were off, but like paint him in and then glitter the bottom and then sparkle him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a video that I'll do to both of them for these gifts for my friends who are in desperate need of black cats, apparently. They don't know that, but you can't be a witch and not have a black cat. Not from my perspective. Don't nobody get in comments and come at me either. I love you. I love you all. Witches, not witches. I don't care. I was going to say the B word and not B word. But I struggle with those, but I still love you. Okay. That's it. I don't know what else to do. I did this in the press, this in the toaster oven. You can't really see the detail of his whiskers and all that, but they're there. This is still warm. This in the air fryer. You can't really, I don't think you can see it, but he's got a nose and whiskers and his eyes. But it's a black cat. It's just a black cat. I like it. I like it a lot. Any questions in the comments? Ask me questions. Actually, if there's anything that you want to see a video of, I know someone wants to see a cup burnt off, the image burnt off and resub. I'll do that. That'll be my next one. And then, because these gifts are actually going to be more toward Halloween for these black cats for my friends. So, yeah. Let me know and I'll do whatever. I know a lot of you, some of you are new and you wanted to watch this to see which one you should use, and you were looking for specifics. Like some people want to know what time, what temp do I need? That's all they want to know. I want to know the time and the temp. But it isn't about the time and the temp, I don't think. It's definitely about the temperature. You want it really hot. But time, don't let someone tell you that you pressed your cup in a press at 350 degrees for 60 seconds and you burnt it. You didn't. You didn't burn it. You did not burn it. Anyway, I'm going to get off of that. I'm never bringing that up again. Okay, I might. But I'm getting off of here. God bless. Have a good evening.